Hello and welcome. Today I am joined by Anna Lake from Anna Lake Consulting, and Anna specializes in designing and delivering client listening programs for professional services firms. Anna, would you like to say hello and share a little bit more about what you do?
Yeah, sure. Hi, thanks for having me on, Paul. As Paul said, work in professional services delivering client listening programs, but I'm really on a mission to make client listening accessible for firms of all sizes. So I work with professional services firms from single bookkeepers up to multi-million pound law and accountancy firms.
Nice. Sounds like some fun work.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so in that context, then, what does client listening mean to you? What's the value of it to whoever you work with?
Yeah. So there's the value to my client. So there's the value to the firm, and that is improved loyalty. So happy clients buy more from you, they stay with you longer, and they recommend you to others, which is free marketing. And so client listening can help you to identify those advocates and leverage their loyalty to you. It's also a great way to find out what you're doing really well in the eyes of your clients. So a lot of firms say, we're responsive, we're proactive, we understand your business, we're great to work with. But it's really great to hear that from a client's point of view, and client listening can help you to identify what you do really well in your client's eyes, then turn that into marketing collateral to then bring in new clients. And it's also really valuable from your client's perspective. So the people that I'm interviewing, even when they're really happy with the service, they really welcome the opportunity to speak to somebody independent, to reflect on the relationship, to make sure that they're getting the most from it. And even really happy clients can sometimes have recommendations or ideas for improvement. So client listening can help you pull those out. And it's also really great to identify any niggles that your clients might have at an early stage so that you can address them rather than lose a client altogether, which obviously isn't ideal.
No, that's right. That's a really interesting point about the value to the end client, and actually they value it, because
Yeah.
we often hear firms that worry about asking clients for feedback because they don't want to interrupt them. They don't feel that they want to share it. But that's interesting that actually it's a positive for them.
Yeah, it is. It is. So I was doing some client listening recently for an accountant, and one of her clients said, I think this is a really worthwhile use of my time because it shows I can, tell you where I think the improvements can be made. It kind of takes that discomfort away by talking to a third party. And also it shows me that the accountant really cares what I think and wants to improve the service and do the best possible for me.
Yeah, that's fascinating, showing actually how much it can boost the brand. I did also like your point about how it can identify the advocates as well, because
Yeah.
often people worry about feedback, that it's all about the negatives and the improvements, and that's really valuable. But the fact it can also flip that and just show you the people that are raving about you and want to refer you and what they're seeing in your brand, that's really powerful as well.
Yeah, it is. And funnily enough, the people who give really constructive feedback can also be advocates. So I wanted a client listening interview, and the client was full of constructive criticism. But when I asked the ultimate NPS question, they were a flat out 10. They're brilliant. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend them. So you just don't know what you're going to get unless you ask.
No, absolutely. So then, for firms that are trying to roll this out and expand it, they often talk about the sort of the internal barriers that sort of maybe stop them doing as much listening as they would like. What are your top tips for helping firms to sort of embrace all of this benefit that can come for them?
Yeah, so Helen mentioned this a little bit in her interview. It's really important to find internal advocates and sponsors. So Find people that are really bought into client listening, and it could be a partner who leads a particular office or a service line or a sector, and start small. So run a pilot and get some really great insight from a small selection of clients, implement those changes, watch for the improvements that are coming through, and then try and roll it out on a bigger scale. So I would start small and then roll it out.
I like that sort of build up an evidence base. So it's not just
Yeah.
we should be doing this, but actually show the evidence of we've done this. Here's the difference it's made. And then here's what the clients have said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's nice.
And also don't think about client listening as an after sales activity necessarily. So some marketing directors are asking me to speak to their clients to inform their marketing strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very much of the view, actually, we need to make sure that we're looking after our current clients before we develop the campaigns to bring new clients in. So look at it from the whole marketing cycle, not just as an after sales activity.
Nice. I like that. That's a great way to finish. Thank you very much again for taking the time to come and chat to us.
You're welcome. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Anna.